It is 11:21 p.m. Central Standard Time on May 28th, 2025. And this is my gratitude post. I'm really grateful that my higher power, who I choose to call God, never leaves me. Even though there's a lot of times I feel like I'm having what I call a brownout, like maybe is God really there still? And I know in the core of my being that God never goes anywhere. If anybody moves, it's me. But I've just been kind of feeling like I'm having a brownout, like I got disconnected somehow. But I haven't changed what I'm doing. So I read this book called Hind's Feet on High Places one time. And it was an allegory about a young woman named Much Afraid. And she was from the family of the Fearfuls. And she escaped from them and followed the Good Shepherd up into the highlands. And at one scene in this book, she had two companions that the Good Shepherd gave her, sorrow and suffering. And at one scene in this book, she was up in the cold part of the mountains, and the clouds came in and covered the sun. And she was curled up under this rock, freaked out. And I remember that one of her companions, Sorrow and Suffering, told her that just because there's clouds doesn't mean the sun isn't still there. And just because I feel like I got disconnected somehow doesn't mean God isn't still there. And another thing I think is feelings aren't fact. They're only feelings. So, and I just got all these little tools that I use, and that pull me out of the disconnected, weird, awkward place I get sometimes. And I'm real grateful for that, because if I didn't have those tools, I'd probably end up drunk. That's the alcoholic in me. So I'm real grateful that I pick up all these tools, and I'll try one or try another, and eventually one of the tools that I use, these spiritual tools, eventually one of them works. So it's been a long week. In 2 days, I've worked way too many hours and had way too much on my mind trying to get things done. But I'm grateful that I know that God didn't go anywhere. There may be a cloud here, but it's going to move, because God always moves the clouds for me. So, have a good night, everybody. Sweet dreams.